Hello and welcome to today's esoteric collective reading. If you're new here, just a couple of disclaimers. For one, I have a cat, and so sometimes you may hear him playing with cat toys in the background. That's totally fine. Just know that's on my screen, not on yours. Also, for everybody, my microphone currently is kind of having some issues, so today's esoteric collective reading might have not the best quality audio. What you're hearing right now is what you'll hear throughout the video. Also, I decided to put on a little vinyl in the background, but because of copyright law, I put it at the quietest volume that I could set my vinyl records to. But if you're wondering, it's I Still Feel the Same by 5 Seconds of Summer that's playing right now off of the Everyone's a Star vinyl. So, yeah, let's get into this. First, a sip of coffee. This is my cup today. Little oil slick moment. Ignore the brand. I got this years ago, but personally, I don't fuck with Starbucks. I'm boycotting them and have been for quite a while. But the cup itself is very pretty, so I'm not going to get rid of the cup just because the brand on it is gross. But yeah, so hopefully you're having a nice morning. I just saw 111 on the timer a couple seconds ago, so that's always fun. Not all of my readings start off like that, but I do notice that sometimes I'll intro for like about a minute and 11 seconds. I'm like, damn, that's kind of funny. But anyways, let's get into what the collective needs to hear today. Interesting. So it didn't pop out all the way, but the Queen of Swords came out, kind of popped up at the top part of the deck. So it's giving maybe you've been very decisive lately. Maybe you've been in an area that requires you to really like be in your own your own element. It's giving the kind of, I'm going to pull more cards on it obviously, but as I do that, the Queen of Swords very much can be like being almost picky with your energy. I'm getting that song Picky by Meg Donnelly. A lot of times I'll get songs when I do channels, so if you speak in music, I'm the channeler for you. Because most of the time it's songs that come to mind. But that idea of like knowing that you're somebody who likes to interact with like-minded people, especially with Queen of Swords, with swords being the mental suit, it's giving the energy of like-minded people. Ooh, and then King of Cups reversed came out. So yeah, it could be that you're struggling to find people who think the same way as you, who feel the same way as you. If this is coming off as like a romance reading, one way this could be interpreted as is you're not really seeing any suitors in your area that are like up to par with your mental emotional well-being, right? It's funny that I'm playing this vinyl. There's a song on this album called Evolve that, while is very boy, girl, female, male, and I don't love that, it gives the idea that, what I'm trying to talk about with that, two cards in particular, that idea of, it's like all the boys around you are kind of dumb. You gotta wait for them to evolve. But anyways, I digress. Let's get some more on why this King of Cups is in reverse. Interesting. Okay. So I got the Chariot reversed and it fell on the ground. So it's like this idea that maybe if we're going with that romance route, you're literally not seeing those kind of individuals coming towards you. It could be that those kind of individuals who are very like-minded emotionally and mentally with you do exist, and you're just not seeing how they're like on the way to you. If you notice the way I put the King of Cups, obviously because I'm on a blanket, as you can tell, not all of the cards are going to be like perfectly laid out up and down straight. However, the King of Cups is kind of like turning just a tiny bit, just a little slight towards the Queen of Swords, my bad. Almost like King of Swords. But that idea, right, of like, you're finding people, or but more like people who are finding you, and you're not seeing it. The Chariot coming out at all tells me that there is progress, but obviously with 444 on the timer just now, obviously with progress though, sometimes it can be unseen, right? I think of like the idea of somebody going to go work out at a gym. If you're going to work out at a gym, you might not see progress every single day, but you will see progress probably every month. And so, not to say that there isn't progress every single day, it's just sometimes you can't see it. I have a reading on that, but I'm not exactly sure which one. But if that concept sounds familiar, feel free to stick around, because I know for certain I've recorded a reading that was very similar to that concept of like, because you're seeing yourself every single day, you're not going to see the big changes, but somebody else coming in would be able to see the big changes. So, let's talk about this Queen of Swords. What does the collective need to hear about them being the Queen of Swords? Whoa, a lot of cards came out. Okay. So the only one that you can see on screen right now is the Three of Wands, so we'll start there. But I should note that this is how the Queen of... The Queen? Wow. This is how the Three of Swords fell out. The Three of Wands. Wow, I can't talk. So, yeah. And then right next to it was Ten of Cups, Ten of Swords, and Queen of Pentacles. Queen? I said Queen is King. So, I'll put that right there. That feels right. Yeah. Okay. So as I readjust my camera, also I should just know Ace of Pentacles is on the bottom. Yeah. Wow. So a lot of cards came out when I asked about the Queen of Swords. And this is definitely confirming to me that you are embodying this Queen of Swords energy. And it's this idea that while you may not see individuals, if we're going with the romance light, I should note that it doesn't necessarily have to be romance. Could also just be like friendship. There's many ways to love somebody, there's many ways to care about somebody. So this is not reading as romance. Feel free to just take it as like people in your life that you may or may not care about, right? People in your life that you may or may not care about don't really feel very like emotionally up to where you're at. These could be people who are a little bit less deep, a little bit more surface level emotionally. Hopefully you can hear me over my cat playing with the cat toy. But I'm not gonna stop him. I'm gonna let him fun. But no, that idea of, even though you can't see the progress of that idea of a King of Cups coming towards you, there's this King of Pentacles who very much wanted to make it fucking known. I'm here. I'm right here. Like, and it's funny because I kept saying king, queen, king, queen. I wouldn't be surprised if you're LGBTQA, if you will, watching this. The Evolve song I talked about came out earlier. But the idea that whether or not you're male or female, you don't have to relate to the femininity and / or masculinity of queen / and or king of suits. I like to view it more as queens are more of like the receiving side, the feminine side of that suit. So Queen of Swords could be represented as like receiving intellectual conversation, banter, information, receiving that, right? King of Pentacles can, for me, is like giving, showing, almost like explaining in a way, that whatever that suit is, which for this case, you've got that King of Cups reversed, but King of Pentacles. So it could be that you're seeing a lot of people who very much have their giving material very much caught up, but you're not seeing the giving emotional of it, right? And so that, if you're not into that, whether it be romance or just people you want to be around, frankly, whether or not you're into that, like, okay, you can provide for this conversation, you can provide for this connection materially, but you can't, as well as I can, mentally, intellectually, right? It's like, or also even emotionally too. You could be dealing with some people who are not necessarily emotionally mature. Also, could be that. I wouldn't be surprised. We didn't get any knights here, so this idea of just like people in your life aren't necessarily doing anything, but they do have traits that you're aware of, particularly maybe very aware of their material. But I should note though that we started off with this energy of the Queen of Swords, King of Cups in reverse, Chariot in reversed, and it was giving very like, okay, so nothing seems to be going on here. But then out of nowhere, we got all of those cards that kind of make like a little reverse L, or maybe a shoe, maybe, with that Sun, the Three of Wands, the 10-10 with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Swords, and then that King of Pentacles. So this could be somebody new coming into your life who's able to like have already mastered the Cups, the Swords, and the Wands, and is now a King of Pentacles. So he's able to, whether his individual be a he, she, they, what so have you, this King of Pentacles figure, right? This individual has gotten to the point with that 10 of Swords, with that 10 of Cups, with themselves, that they're able to handle emotionally and handle mentally, intellectually, conversation and banter with you. I think it's another reason why that Three of Wands came up. This idea that the Sun is like, it's came out sideways, next and connected to the Three of Wands. This idea of like, you're going from this energy of having to deal with people who aren't necessarily in your vibe, right? Queen of Swords and a King of Cups reversed, not exactly an ideal combo. But seeing that, and then immediately going here, I would not be surprised if a new figure is entering your life that is able to bring that emotional and intellectual compatibility, frankly, and being able to see yourself within somebody else emotionally, see yourself or parts of yourself that you like within somebody else intellectually, creates that sun, that positivity, that healing, right? You've been around people who've been giving that King of Cups energy reversed, and so being exposed to somebody who's giving you 10 of Cups energy, that's going to be healing. That's going to be a different experience, right? I want to pull a little bit more tarot on this, and then we'll end it up with an All of You's Magic deck card. If you're interested, all of the cards used will be in the description below. I kind of just want to know some details on like how you and this King of Pentacles, like how y'all work together. Maybe how does this King evolve? Wow, okay. How does this King of Pentacles evolve you as a Queen of Swords, right? That's what I'm mainly concerned. Because if we find out that this King of Pentacles energy is like really good for you, whoa, that's interesting. Okay. So I can't show you. Maybe I can. If I unplug the lamp, I can. Okay. So I was pulling cards, right? And a card fell perfectly inside my lamp. And so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to look on camera. Basically, I have this lamp, and I painted the inside of it so it looks dirty. It's just paint. And a card landed perfectly inside, upright. And it's the 9 of Cups. So, whoops. Definitely, though, with the 10 of Cups already being there, there's this idea of emotional fulfillment. 9 of Cups to me is like a wish fulfillment card. It's this idea of like, I don't want to say dreams coming true, because it's more like a 7 of Cups thing, but that's definitely coming to mind. It's giving Disney, low-key. Like, if this is a love story, it's giving very Disney of a love story. Very Cinderella energy. You could relate to that. I showed 1313 on the timer. But yeah, I feel like whoever this King of Pentacles figure is, it's somebody who has already mastered the emotional and the intellectual. And because of that, even though we don't have any wands besides 3 of Wands, I feel like if this individual makes you feel alive, if this individual brings that wand's spark within you, then you bringing the swords and you bringing the wands to this connection while they're bringing the pentacles and the cups, it's like it's an equal match, right? So whether or not this feels romantic to you, I feel like whoever this figure is, this King of Pentacles energy, if they make you feel alive in a safe way, I feel like it could be really emotionally fulfilling for you. So once you find this individual who makes you feel alive in a very safe way, right, I feel like that'd be good for you. Oh. My cat knocked over something, so I had to grab him, but he knocked over the vinyl that I have like on display. And so, once again, the song that's currently playing is Jawbreaker, or at least it's just about to start to, off that album. So, that song is a love song. Jawbreaker is definitely a love song. Very good album if you haven't already checked out. Everyone's a star. But yeah. We're going to end it off with one more card, like I mentioned. This deck is really pretty, but also the box is pretty too. But yeah, I'm gonna pull and then we'll come right back. Alright, we're back. I wanted to note real quick, I was pulling cards, just like one more tarot card off screen, and I got the Death in reverse, and the bottom of the deck energy was Wheel of Fortune. So, before we get into the All Abuse Magic card, which I also pulled off screen just for sake of convenience, frankly, I feel like this is very much, it might not be something that you're used to. This could be, like I said earlier, like a new person. It could be a new type of energy that you're not familiar with. And so I want to emphasize that be okay with the release of dealing with the old energy that you're not okay with. So that way you have room mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, frankly, to be able to sorry for that, my cat is missing something. To be able to feel comfortable accepting this new energy, you know? But yeah, so we're gonna end it off with an All of You's Magic card. Doing what you can in this moment is all you need to do. There are no goalposts in healing. It's all magic. And then the ritual at the bottom. I don't know if we're going to be able to read that too much, but we will try. There we go. Sit with this message. Listen to your heartbeats. Each calls you to slow down and go easy on yourself. And then, while you sit with that message, feel free to observe the art on the back of the deck. If this art brings any thoughts, feelings, emotions, or memories to you, meditate on those as well. And yeah, that's it for today's Esoteric Collective reading. I hope you enjoyed. If you're still here, please check out my linktree in my YouTube description and YouTube bio to help donate money to Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Yemen, and Haiti, as well as many more. The whole point of that linktree is to help put money to where money can help people live better lives. So if you're interested in doing that, please check that out. Also, if you're an immigrant, particularly in the USA, since y'all are being heavily attacked all the time, I hope you have a very fantastic day. And I hope you get the chance to hold a cat today. My cat has been messing with stuff this entire time, so I had to finally just kind of pick him up and let him just be on my shoulder, and it's fun. I love him. He's great. But hopefully you also get this experience of holding a cat today. I feel like it'll be very relaxing, very heartwarming, very nice. But yeah, if you're still here, please have a safe, fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.